Hey y'all, and welcome to the Here to Uplift podcast, where we center the stories of impactful change makers, entrepreneurs, and community leaders. These powerful stories from all the amazing guests featured here inspire us to have more meaningful conversations and ask bigger, better questions. Today is a short episode, what I like to call a mini cast, to get the convo flowing. I'm Lola Fisher, your host, lover of all things wellness, healing, and women's empowerment, and I would greatly appreciate if once you listen, you also show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing this podcast with a friend. Now, let's get into it. Everything comes with a cost, even good things. I so distinctly remember driving in the car with my boyfriend, and Anthony said, "Why do you keep rolling the windows up instead of keeping them down? I thought you liked having the windows down." And if you know me, you know I have a bright orange Jeep, and yes, I do love driving with the windows down, turning my music up, having a good time. But in this case, my response, which he actually had me write down because he was like, "You should make a song or a sermon out of that or something." I said, "I love fresh air, but I don't like crazy hair." That was the statement. I love fresh air, but I don't like crazy hair. Now, it just depends on the day, right? Whatever hairstyle I have, with my locks, put the windows down. It don't matter. But if I, just got cornrows done and I want it to stay slicked, if I, have my hair down curly and natural, just like a wash and go, and one side of the window's blowing, my hair's going to start looking like a cockatoo with one side bigger, one side all droopy. It kind of depends on the hairstyle. But here's my point. I really do love fresh air. I love driving with the windows down. It feels good. It's something that really boosts my spirit. However, at the same time, there's a cost to having those windows down. So in this case, depending on my hairstyle, I kind of weighed the cost of, do I want the fresh air while driving today, or do I want to feel, unconfident because my hair looks all funky, or maybe do I really want to pay for my hair to get redone? It just depends on what that day was. I really don't even remember what hairstyle I had. But my point is I had to weigh the cost of each. Fresh hair or crazy hair? Which one do I actually want to have today? So fresh air and crazy hair, or no fresh air, but the hair stays on point, right? What do I feel like? But here's my point. In telling this funny story about fresh air or crazy hair, it's not actually about the hair, right? It's about the fact that every single thing we do, we say, we experience, everything we choose and make an active choice or decision about has a cost. Even the good things. So in this case, fresh air is the good thing, and it had a cost of, my hair looking crazy that day. Or vice versa, maybe the hair is the good thing and my hair looks great, but the cost is I gotta drive with my windows up today, and I don't always like driving with my windows up, but that's the cost. So what kind of things are going on in your life that you might need to start weighing the cost a bit more? Sometimes we get so automatic in our thinking and automated, really, that we just start going through the motions. So if somebody tells us that this thing is inherently bad, we start making a choice of okay, that's the cost I want to avoid, so I'll start doing these other things. But that doesn't always work when it comes to business and goals and entrepreneurship. And this is where, the message underlying really is. When I opened my studio, for example, I got a lot of encouragement from people in the community who had been taking my classes already, who wanted to have a space that they really felt like they could be themselves authentically and take part in their own wellness journey and healing journey from that perspective of comfort and safety and just vibrancy. We really created a space of joy and love that folks could heal in. And I loved that. So I got a lot of encouragement on that side. At the same time, there was a lot of folks who were like, no, this isn't worth it. Financially, it's not worth it, or it's not worth giving up the career that you built in higher ed. And how are you going to do both? And what does that look like? And there was a lot of doubt and discouragement as well. So no matter which way I went, there was going to be some hidden costs and some costs that were right in front of my face of what do I really want to make this out to be? So obviously there was a financial cost in starting a business and opening a studio that actually was a brick and mortar, more than just where I was teaching classes from one place to the next as I was doing before. The other cost is time and energy, because opening your own business takes so much time, energy, take sleep truly, and a change in your own health practices, a change in your relationships, and how much time you're spending with people, but also in what ways you spend time with folks. There was a lot of changes that happened. And to this day, I don't regret opening that studio, not one bit. I learned a lot through a lot of mistakes, and I also learned a lot through some beautiful surprises that came just naturally through the studio existing and through the relationships I was able to build with opening a business and becoming an entrepreneur, really taking that first step into my entrepreneurial journey and getting out of that typical 9-to-5 job. So all that to say, these were good things. The studio was a good thing, and it still had costs that hurt me. And the community was a good thing, and it had costs that hurt me. Changing my relationships was a good thing, and it still had costs that hurt me. So don't let the cost stop you, but definitely weigh the cost so that you know you're not being stopped or held back from doing something great in your life just because of a fear of what that little cost might be. Because the cost that I've learned is temporary. The pain, I should say, of having these costs of the good thing is temporary. So no matter what you do, what choice you make, it's always going to have a cost. Always. So which costs are you willing to pay and which ones are you not? That's up to you. That's up to how risky you want to be, how bold you want to be, how courageous you want to be in your own life's journey to get towards those big goals and dreams. But I'm going to tell you now, if you have big dreams, you're going to have a lot of costs along the way too. And you're going to have to learn how to reckon with those, wrestle with those, and grieve some of the things that get lost as you make space for new and better things to come. That's my thoughts for the day. Thank you for tuning in to the Here to Uplift podcast. New episodes are airing every week with some bonus episodes in between too. So make sure you stay tuned by subscribing, following, liking, and engaging with us to let us know what topics you're most interested in and what might inspire you along this journey. We're going to keep working hard on our end because we are here to uplift not only ourselves, but our community too, and that includes you. So I can't wait for you to hear the next episode. But for now, do your thing, let's get it, and let's keep moving forward. Uplift yourself, friends. You got this.